Hello everyone, my name is Nishkarsh Pandey. I am going to present a seminar presentation on the topic the Sagarmala Project. So in next slide we have the table of content. So the first one is the introduction, then need for Sagarmala, project vision, apex bodies, component of Sagarmala, its objective and estimated budget, benefits of Sagarmala, future outcome, case studies, challenges and concern, and then conclusion. So moving to the first slide, we have the introduction part. So basically, Sagarmala project was first conceived by former Prime Minister late Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee on 15 August 2003, and then Government of India has commenced this project on 31st July 2016. Basically, it is a flagship program of Ministry of Port, Shipping, Waterways to promote port-led development in the country and utilization of India's vast coastline that is around 7,517 km long. This project aims to modernize port, improve connectivity, promote industrialization, and develop coastal communities. The estimated budget of this project is around 8.57 lakh crore rupees. So in next slide, we have need for Sagarmala. So basically, the turnaround time at major port in India are approximately 4 to 5 days, whereas the global average time is only 1 day. And the second one is to optimize the logistic cost for existing and future capacities, as India uses 94% of its transportation either road or rail. And the third one is the cost of transportation via waterways is cheap. So these are the factors that dictate the need for Sagarmala. So in next slide, we have the project vision. So the project vision of this Sagarmala project is the reduction of logistic cost for export and import as well as for the domestic trade. So in next slide, there are some bodies that are involved in this project. The first one is Sagarmala Development Company Limited, and the next one is National Sagarmala Apex Committee, then the next one is NASAC, and the last one is the Indian Port, Rail and Ropeway Corporation Limited. So in next slide, we have the component of Sagarmala. So basically, Sagarmala project is divided into 4 components. The first one is port modernization, the second one is port connectivity, the third one is port-led industrialization, and the last one is coastal community development. So in next slide, we have the first one, the port modernization. So basically, in this, government had decided to bottlenecking and capacity expansion of existing port and development of new greenfield ports. And then the port connectivity enhancement. So in this, connectivity of port can be achieved by connecting the ports to the production center or to the hinterlands, and as well as optimizing cost and time of cargo movement through multimodal logistic solutions. So in next slide, we have the port link industrialization. So basically, developing the port proximate industrial clusters and coastal economic zones nearby the port, so that we can reduce the logistic cost and time of export and import as well as for domestic cargo. So the last one is that component is coastal community development. So promoting the sustainable development of the coastal community through skill development and livelihood generation activities. Moving to the next slide, we have the objective of this project, so that we will discuss in our next slide. So first objective is port modernization. So basically, we have to increase the cargo handling capacity of India by 3,300 million metric ton per annum. That is around 500 million metric ton per annum currently. India has 12 major ports and approximately 209 major ports. So in this project, upgradation of 12 major ports and plans for new ports is also included, like the Vadhavan port in Maharashtra. And the estimated budget for this component, the port modernization, is around 1.42 lakh crore. Moving to the next slide, we have given the port with project cost and capacity. So in this, basically the maximum project cost has been allocated to the project, that is JNPT, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, and the lowest project cost is handled to Kolkata. So next slide, we have the port connectivity, the second component, and we can say the second objective of this project. So basically, in this project, we have to develop transportation link to seamlessly connect ports and hinterlands. and over 5,500 kilometers of roads and 6,000 kilometers of rail projects are planned to connect the ports, as well as promoting the multimodal transportation. So basically, and also developing 35,000 kilometers of coastal and inland waterways to improve cargo movement. And the estimated cost of this project component is around 2.50 lakh crore. So moving to the next slide, we have shown the map showing coastal and land connectivity under this port connectivity component. So in next slide, we have the port-led industrialization. So basically, we have to foster industrial growth near ports as well as setting up industries near ports to promote export-oriented growth, and also creating special economic zones and coastal economic zones. So a special economic zone is an area in which business and trade laws are different from the rest of country. And so moving to the next slide, we have the coastal economic zone table. Here you can see there are 14 coastal economic zones and the map showing the coastal economic zone locations. So moving to the next slide, we have the last objective of this project, that is coastal community development. So basically it is divided into 3 parts. The first one is skill development. This includes the multi-skill development of coastal communities by different government schemes like Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra program, as well as run a skill development program for over 15,000 coastal community members. So in next slide, we have the maritime capacity enhancement. So basically we have to modernize 194 lighthouses and plan for vessel traffic management system, so we can strengthen our maritime security and surveillance. And in next one, we have coastal tourism. So basically development of coastal circuits under Swadesh Darshan scheme, like National Maritime Heritage Museum complex at Lothal, and the second one is underwater weaving gallery and restaurant at Bet Dwarka. So in next slide, we have the estimated budget for the Sagarmala project with their components. The first one is port modernization, connectivity enhancement, port link industrialization, coastal community development. So moving to the next slide, we have the benefits of Sagarmala. The first one is economic growth. So it has been estimated that under Sagarmala program, India's maritime exports could boost up to 110 billion USD, as well as generation of 40 lakh direct jobs and 60 lakh indirect jobs. Then the next one is infrastructure development. So in this, modernization of port will take place, as well as transportation network will be improved. And the other benefit of this infrastructure development is that it will reduce the logistic cost by around 10% and will increase the capacity by over 800 million tons. So moving to the next slide, we have the future outcome of the Sagarmala project. So the first one is mobilization of infrastructure investment is around 4 lakh crore, and the second one is it will save the logistic cost per annum with around 35,000 to 40,000 crore, and the third one is it could boost the export up to 110 billion US dollar, as well as creation of 40 lakh direct jobs and 60 lakh indirect jobs. So moving to the next slide, we have case study of Mundra Port. So basically this one is situated in the Gulf of Kutch, Gujarat, India, and it is operated by Adani Port and Special Economic Zone Limited. So cargo handling capacity of this port was 5 million TEU, that is 20 foot equivalent unit per year, and bulk cargo capacity was 200 million metric tons annually. So it has been increased by 6.6 million TEUs, as well as terminal expansion with cumulative containers is also takes place with the help of Sagarmala program. And the turnaround time for this port is around 18 to 20 hours. That is the fastest across all the ports in India. And the connectivity of this port is also increased through major road and rail network. And this port is also the part of Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridors. So moving to the next slide, we have the second case study of the port, that is Kandla Port. So it is located in Kandla and Gandhi Dham area of the Kutch district in the state of Gujarat, which is operated by Deen Dayal Post Trust. So the infrastructure development that has taken place in this port is that mechanized fertilizer handling capacity has been increased by 5 million ton per annum, and the second one is development of Tuna Tekra bulk terminal to handle the fertilizer handling capacity, as well as the third one is the annual cargo handling capacity is also increased. So moving to the next slide, and the expansion of berths has also taken place, and the last one is the turnaround time that was 2 to 2.5 days previously has been reduced by 0.5 to 1 day. And smart industrial port city and at Kandla has also been developed. So moving to the next slide, we have the challenges and concerns. As ICRA, that is Investment Information Credit Rating Agency, has claimed that this program is suffering from the lack of timely financial support and investment. And there is also a problem from fishing communities, as there is one case that Karnataka High Court has halted construction on the Karwar port because of coastal erosion. And due to this project, extensive seabirding is being carried out, which damages the long areas of productive fishing grounds and topple jetties. So moving to the next slide, we have the conclusion of this Sagarmala project. So the first one, that port infrastructure development across all the ports of India will take place, and the second one is that it will reduce turnaround time of all the ports. That plays a major role in the reduction of logistic cost cutting. And the third one is it will connect the ports through multimodal connectivity as well as interconnectivity of ports. And the other one is that it will reduce logistic cost and will contribute to the economic growth of India, as well as it will create a lot of job opportunities for the unemployed people of India. So this is all from my side. Thank you. Jai Hind.